in this situation, because the jump is 12 feet wide, I feel like the flags are helpful, but maybe not enough in certain situations. So having the plants on the top of the table, crowded in a little bit, this marks sort of the highest point of the apex of the horse's jump. The highest point of their jump tends to be a little past halfway of the jump, typically, right? Just because of their forward motion, right, or speed of travel. But having the plants here at the halfway point across the jump encourages the horse, especially because they're really infringing on they're really quite oppressive to him at that point. So it forces him to try to clear at least part of that with his arm. And therefore, because of the shape of his jump, it forces him to clear the front and the back edge of the fence at the same time.
So is the placement of the plant in the center on either side important versus the front of the back?
In this situation, and that's why cross country is tricky, and that's why hopefully we continue to learn and be educated as designers. Every situation is different. In this particular situation, they come up a steep little hill, about 4 or 5 strides in front of the fence. Right? So that kind of pops their balance up from the uphill travel, and then the fence then is sort of in their face, so that keeps them up. So I think in this situation, having them in the center is the correct thing.
So we now have a better understanding of how the horse views this. Does the rider understand the placement of the flags as well as the plant?
You know, I think riders are beginning to realize this. I think it's something that we need to continue to try to disseminate this type of information. I think having the horse understand the jump and be confident or be tentative in certain situations is half of our job.
Right.
The other half is to make the riders a little bit impressed by the situation. So having less of a ground line, I think, often makes the riders a little more careful.
Wow. So hopefully now you have a little better understanding from the horse's point of view as well as the riders as to what to expect when they come to a table like this. Thank you, James.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Because they see the ground moving. Now, we have a place to where from this side they can see that they're landing on ground. When they're here, they think they're jumping off the edge of the cliff. But when they get to here, then they see the ground there, so they will jump it. When I had it for the advanced level, it was 6 feet closer to the edge of the hill.
Oh, wow.
Which makes a tremendous difference. That's at least one level of difficulty.
Because the horse may see that they're going off a cliff.
Yeah. And in fact, I had it placed there, and after I had it all set up and dressed, I actually pulled out every second piece of brush because it was too hard. So then you can see the difference that makes to allow them to see the ground there. Having the solid brush makes a huge, huge difference. That's also what's awesome about this geranium straight stuff is that you can work with it like that. You can completely change. We took 2 levels of difficulty off by pulling 2 pieces of brush out there.
Wow.
Because they can see where the ground is.
Right.
So we use the terminal.
So the more the horse can see, the more confidence they're going to have in dealing with any obstacle that's
Certainly, yeah. If they can see where the ground is on the backside. You'll see we use terrain like this down through the lower levels, but the fence comes farther and farther back from the crest of the hill.
So how does the rider see this? Is this a challenge? Or
I think they would see this pretty well the same way that the horse does, honestly, in this situation. They know that this is hard, though. It's a balance of riding this aggressively enough to get the horse to jump it, So you're being aggressive until you get their knees up off the ground, but then you want them to land and find the ground. So then you back off and you sit and you hope that they're educated enough to land and balance themselves on the first stride. David O'Connor quote, that one of the best things he has ever said, a horse should land and go, what now?
Okay.
They shouldn't land and stop. They shouldn't land and go. They should land and wait for input. And that is what makes a successful cross-country horse. Wow. Move them to places here. And the reason for that is, again, we're judging this by these flowers and these flags. And I think it's really important that they are just because of having the ditch, the running water, there's a lot of things going on. And so I want it to be super clear where they need to get off.
So where's the takeoff point?
For these fences, we'll see the hoof prints anywhere from here to here. Generally, they'll be taking off here. Again, the center of their arc typically would be slightly behind the center of these rails. I think by our placement of the flags, our very specific placement of the flags and the decoration, I think it actually hopefully brings the center of their arc dead center over this fence.
So when a horse leaves the ground, to the time he lands on that average stride, what's the distance that we're looking at?
You know, their average stride is 12 feet. On cross country, we did a speed study. Actually, a couple of guys from Colorado and Kansas here did a speed study and realized that horses are jumping through combinations of whatever level of 450 meters a minute. Therefore, they have to run much faster in between in order to make time. Well, why were they all jumping through at 450 meters a minute through combinations? Because we set the distance at 12 feet for their strides. So if they go any faster than that, it screws up the distance. The reality is, on cross country, a horse traveling at 550 meters a minute, let's say for two stock, their stride can be anywhere from 15 to 18, 19 feet long, even.
Wow.
I measured some landings and takeoffs from a big fence in California, up at Woodside, one of Robert Kellerhouse's events.
Right.
And I had a working student actually stand out there, and my fat orange horse that I rode jumped 28 feet.
Wow.
From takeoff to landing.
Wow.
So it makes our, 6 foot ditches not be that significant.
Yeah, from a rider's perspective, there's a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, honestly, when we add top spread to a fence, what does that do? It doesn't necessarily change the horse's trajectory. It just means it has to be higher.
Right.
If we're jumping a single rail, this is the highest point of their arc. When we're jumping two rails, their arc doesn't go like that and then flat. It means they have to jump this high in the middle.
Right.
So they just have to jump higher.
Right.
So that's actually what the effect is. So the spread fences are bigger. Again, the show jumpers know this. They'll have verticals to 5'6", auxers to 5'3".
So what's amazing, again, being an uneducated eventer, spectator, whatever you would like to define me as, the horse is figuring all of this out in this short period of time to calculate really how high it needs to jump.
Exactly.
And that power is coming from its hind legs.
Exactly.
So it's all those calculations are happening like that.
That's right.
So it can do whatever it needs to do to get over this.
Yep.
Wow.
Again, very interesting. The front feet may come to here, and then they leave the ground. The back feet come to here and push off. So their front feet are leaving from much farther away than their back feet.
So once their front feet are off the ground,
Then their back feet step under and then push off.
wow. So there's another stride
Yeah.
on the hind legs
about another 3 feet. Yeah.
before they actually go airborne.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Like we always think that their front feet come to here and they jump, but that's not actually what happens. It is in some situations.
Wow. So
But isn't
help
that
me
interesting?
understand this. So as their front feet leave the ground, my impression was that at that point, the energy from the hind legs is already created to have them leave the ground from wherever they are. But you're saying they're going to come up another 3 feet with their hind legs, and then
they get off the ground in front, and then it's how we have their center of gravity balanced and placed. That controls how much they can step under, behind, and therefore how vertical their trajectory is.
So is that almost like a hop before they go airborne?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
because their front feet are already off the ground, and then they're still going to hop 3 feet, and then boom.
Yeah. But if their center of gravity is too far ahead, if their balance is too much on their front end, then their front end is coming up, but their hind end is not able to step under far enough to then create enough vertical trajectory. So then we say they're jumping flat.
So my takeaway from this is tomorrow when I'm out here watching these riders go over these jumps, I'm going to be looking at things that I've never looked at before.
Yeah, and you're going to be terrified.